What's going on, everyone? It's Jaewoo. For those of you who's been following me for a while, you might notice that my setup's a little different today, and that's because I'm back in Seoul, back home. I just got in last night, and now I'm self-isolating in my room for 2 weeks until I can go off and wander freely around Seoul. So I spent the past couple days moving out of my room that I lived in for 2 years. It's not like I was moving into a completely new place. I just had to move to the room across from my old room. My insomnia got pretty bad last semester, and my room being as loud as it is, it didn't really help much with my insomnia. So I decided to move rooms. So I had a full 2 weeks, 14 days after school ended to move out. But naturally I defaulted to a post-exam lethargy where I ended up just binging Netflix and subscribing to Grubhub Plus. Yeah, so I ended up watching a pretty incredible amount of TV. So I did some quick math. So in 13 days I've watched 90 episodes of television, which amounted to over 70 hours of watch time. I put off the actual work of moving out until 2 days before my flight, and even then, the first day of actually putting in the work, I was just cleaning up the room I was moving into. So yeah, it was a time. I ended up packing until like 4 a.m. of the day of the flight, just 5 hours before my Uber ride to the airport. But that's enough talking. This is how things went down. So I spent the past couple weeks watching a lot of TV. So for the past couple weeks, all I've done after waking up was to just like watch TV and eat. My current room, I lived here for the past couple years, is located right on this really busy road. But the city planning was done in like, I don't even know. It was done a while ago. So we have this like weird little triangle thing. So in this like very concentrated area of traffic, there are like 6 lights and like 8 crosswalks or something. And at each of these lights, there are also these alarm things that makes these bird noises. I don't know if you could hear them right now. Basically, I hear that nonstop, and the traffic and the drivers in Philly, especially around where I live. I don't know, a lot of them seem pretty aggressive. They use the horns a lot, so it gets pretty loud. This was a long-winded way of saying that I'll be moving into a room across the hall on the same floor, but the moving out process is, I guess, essentially the same. I just don't have to carry stuff for longer distances. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get this mess of a room across the hall today, basically. Well, I technically also have tomorrow, but I want to get it done today so I could just hang out tomorrow, maybe watch some more Netflix. I guess I'm gonna get to cleaning the new room first, because it's kind of dusty in there and it's kind of gross. I really don't want to be moving like out at all. I hate moving, and I always have. And I know I'm like complaining about having to move across the hall, which isn't that bad, but I just hate moving so much. Holy shit. So I just realized that I don't have the footage of me actually moving into the new room, but here's some footage of my old room, which is now completely empty except for the furniture that I moved from the room I'm moving in to my old room for my friend who's moving into my old room. And I have this footage of the new room that I've moved into. It's still a complete mess, but I'll deal with that when I get back, hopefully in August. Now here's some footage of me making the trip. First getting from Philadelphia to JFK, and then from JFK to Incheon International Airport. Alright, so it took a little while, but I'm finally home. Well, it's not even my childhood home. My family moved here when I was still in the Korean Army, so we've only been here for about 2 years. But it's a great apartment. I have my own room and a little bathroom that goes with it, so perfect for self-isolation. I'll be isolating for 2 weeks per the Korean government's guidelines. It was a crazy trip. The Uber ride to JFK was fine. I was pretty delirious. I had like 3 hours of sleep. So took an Uber from my house in Philly to JFK, which took about 2.5 hours. My flight was at 2 p.m. I kind of planned it so I'd get there around noon. I ended up getting there closer to 11. Yeah, I don't think I saw a single non-Korean traveler at the departure gates, so that was pretty
new and startling,
considering I've been flying out of JFK for like the past decade or so. Flight was okay. It was 14 hours. I usually do connecting flights, so typically it would be like I'd fly out of Seoul and then
I do a connecting flight somewhere in the States. It could be like Detroit, Dallas, LA,
whatever, and then I'd do a layover to Philly. But this time around I thought, and my parents agreed, that being at multiple airports unnecessarily when I could just take a direct flight from JFK to Seoul would be kind of
dumb
and riskier than just taking the direct flight out of JFK. So that's why I took the direct flight. So the seating on the plane was kind of similar to like how students are seated during exams. No one was sitting directly next to each other. The airline made it so that the middle row would all be empty. So that was nice. A lot of room, very quiet, pretty calm flight. Yeah, and because I slept in the morning, I wasn't too tired. And after a cup of coffee, I was fully awake. So I was actually able to finish this book on flight. I recently did a survey of book recommendations on Insta. When Breath Becomes Air was one of the more frequently suggested books, and understandably so. It's an amazing book. It's about this neurosurgeon slash neuroscientist person who finishes his residency and is about to embark on his career as a neurosurgeon and a neuroscientist, but then he's diagnosed with lung cancer. The book is centered around this idea of reconciling with both life and death on the daily, especially as a neurosurgeon who got to experience both stories, one of being a patient and one of being a doctor. Yeah, it's just incredibly eloquently written. My failing vocabulary could not do the book justice. Like, I would recommend this book to anybody who can read, basically. It's a quick read. It's only around 200 pages. I'm an incredibly slow reader and I got through it in like less than 3 hours. So very quick read, very emotional. Like every sentence by Paul Kalanithi is pretty much poetry. It's amazing. You guys have to read it. It's called When Breath Becomes Air. It was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize. I'll leave a link in the description. Yeah, so I got to read the book on the flight, watched a couple episodes of TV, did some more reading of like random books that was on my laptop, and that was it. Had a glass of wine, dozed off for a couple hours, and like that, I was home. So pretty solid flight. I'd give it like an 8 out of 10, and then I set foot in Incheon, where the airport is, and I went straight into the quarantine stuff. The airport's got it set up all pretty professionally. They do like an initial screen with your body temperature, and they have individual like quarantine booths for individual testing if they think you might have the virus. And then you go through like 2 more steps. They make you like download this app and like fill out a bunch of forms. It's all Big Brother shit, but who cares? Like, life is more important than being spied on, I guess. Quarantine took around like an hour for Korean citizens. Incheon Airport is incredibly easy to navigate, especially coming into the country. It rarely takes more than 15 minutes to get through the entire thing from gate to baggage claim, but this time around it took a little over an hour. And when I went downstairs to grab my bag so I can go home and eat and live, I couldn't find my 1 luggage. I had checked 2 luggages, 1 like normal sized big luggage and 1 carry-on that I was too lazy to actually carry on to the plane. Apparently someone had taken my luggage and was well on their way home. So it was this whole debacle of me and this other like airport worker looking for like similar looking luggages on the conveyor belt, picking it out, going through the tags and like hitting people up. Yeah, so that went on for like 30 minutes and I was like all ready to give up and just go home and just have them ship my luggage over. But last minute, someone picked up, they said they had my luggage and they said they were coming back for their actual luggage. So I decided to wait. They said it would take 20 minutes. It ended up taking 50 minutes. So I was stuck in the airport. So I landed around like 3:30 p.m. I ended up leaving the airport around 7, which was not ideal. But finally I was out. Because I spent so much time in the airport, I missed my bus, which would have cost me around 10 bucks and was just as fast as a cab. I ended up just taking a cab. Super expensive, but it is what it is. I had to get home somehow and I couldn't take the subway or like a normal bus because of the law, because I had just come in from a foreign country. But yeah, I took the cab. I got off at the public health center where I filled out more documents. I actually got the test, like the swabbing test through the nostril and the back of the neck and stuff, and then walked home because home is conveniently a block away from the health center. I've been in my room for a few hours now, took a shower, and I'm pretty fucking tired. I will probably go to bed soon. I've been procrastinating super hard on like editing and stuff over the past couple weeks when I was in Philly because I've been watching TV and only watching TV. Yeah, I was an idiot and just didn't really find the time to get around to do it. So over the next 2 weeks, I'll be way better about that. I'm gonna try to get back on the grind, try to get back into the habit of actually being productive because my internship is starting in 5 weeks or so. Starting tomorrow, I'm gonna be a different man. It's gonna be amazing. You'll just have to see. But yeah, this was a really long vlog. But anyway, now that I'm home, expect to see me more often. I'll definitely be uploading at least twice a week from now on. And I'd just like to say thank you to you guys. It's been a little over 2 months. And to be honest, it's been pretty rough. I've been wanting to do this for so long that I think I've built up an image of what I'd want to be without actually having the essence of what it takes to get there. Yeah, so having this YouTube channel really is forcing me to think about myself, about my experiences, and some of the ways I could help you guys out if I could at all. I guess what I want to say is thank you so much for watching my videos, for being supportive, and just being amazing. You guys are the reason I keep doing this. It honestly takes a whole lot of time. Like, this is definitely not just something you could do on the side, I think. But I'm more than willing to put the time in and to keep improving and learning. I guess that's the whole point. You just gotta keep bettering yourself. And hopefully I could help you guys in some way. I don't know how, but in some way along the way. Yeah, I mean, I could just be a whole ass mess on camera and I guess you guys could get some, I don't know, get a sense of superiority if that could help. I'd be down to play that role. Let me know in the comments how I could help you guys. Alright, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps me out and I will see you guys super soon. Like, actually, this time. Bye.